What happens when family favoritism turns into bullying and the silence inside the home becomes deadly? Let me say that again, because somebody out there needs to stop pretending that they just did not hear what I just said. What happens when the person who you are supposed to love, or who is supposed to love you the most, become the ones who actually break you the deepest? Now, some of the deepest bruises that we gained don't show up on the skin because they were delivered by comparisons, dismissals, silence, and by the people who actually share your last name. And sometimes, yes, I'm going to just say it, the first bully a child ever meets lives in their own house. Welcome to Silence Speaks Volume 777. I'm Miss Silence, known to many as Shadeen, and today we're talking about something families whisper about, but children are forced to carry alone, and that's family favoritism. How it becomes emotional bullying, and how that pain, that quiet, unspoken pain, can push a child into dangerous levels of hopelessness. Now, let me be real with you, because some people I know will scroll past this because I'm actually the person that's saying it, or because accountability actually makes folks uncomfortable. But then again, denial is actually easier than truth, huh? I don't care, because I practice what I preach, and today we're calling these dark secrets what they really are. Grown folks accountability. Now, let's talk about what favoritism actually looks like. Well, what does it sound like? When you're at home, you got parents who say, why can't you be more like your sister? Or you're always the one causing problems. Your brother never acts like this. But then you got it. And then it looks like things like, one child getting grace while another one is getting the blame. And then you have one child who gets protected while another one is being left exposed. But then again, there's children who are being celebrated while another is being ignored. And then that ignored child is feeling rejection, shame, emotional abandonment, and loneliness. And when a child grows up being treated as less than, it hits harder than school bullying, because at school a child can escape, run to the bathroom, do whatever, but at home they can't. Now let's talk about the emotional impact of it all. When favoritism becomes a pattern, the unfavored child starts to believe, I'm not enough. Nobody cares how I feel. I'm the problem. Maybe things would be easier if I wasn't here. These thoughts are not weaknesses. They're actually responses to the emotional pain. And I'm going to say this clearly without being graphic, because I know graphics hit hard. Children who feel invisible in their own home are at higher risk of deep hopelessness, and not because they want to die, but because they want the pain to just stop. And if you think this isn't serious, let me remind you of some real children that we lost. And these are not just stories. These are not rumors. These are names of children who should still be here. Adriana Kutch, 14, bullied, assaulted, humiliated online. The emotional weight just became too heavy. McKenna Brown, 16, a gifted athlete. Cyberbullying and social isolation just broke her spirit. Rosalie Avila, 13, bullied for her appearance for years, and her parents ended up finding notes describing her pain. Mallory Grossman, 12, relentlessly bullied at school and online, and her parents had to fight for her justice after losing her. Jamarion Stokes, 12, bullied repeatedly. His mother said he begged for help that never came. What about Drake Hardman, 12 years old? His parents shared openly that bullying pushed him into despair. What about Gabriel Tay, 8, bullied so severely that even the school's silence became part of the harm? Or Carson Bride, 16, with cyberbullying stole his joy. His parents later pushed for anti-bullying legislation. These children were loved. They had families, they had futures, and yet the emotional weight became unbearable. This is why silence is deadly. And this is why favoritism is not harmless. And this is why emotional bullying inside the home must be confronted. So, after all of that, what does healing look like? Healing begins with truth. Begins when someone finally says what happened to you was real. You didn't deserve that. Your feelings make sense. You are worthy of love without conditions. And healings within the families, when families just stop pretending and start acknowledging. Favoritism is not harmless. It is an emotional neglect. Emotional neglect is a form of bullying. But hear me, cycles can be broken and patterns can be unlearned. Families can start healing and individuals can rise again. Now here's a scripture for love. 1 Corinthians 13 verses 4 through 7 says, love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no records of wrongs. Love always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always preserves. This scripture is not just poetic. It is a blueprint for how families should treat one another. Love protects us, honors us, sees us, includes us, and love heals all. If you yourself grew up in a home where favoritism shaped your identity, you are not broken. You are not unworthy. You are not the problem child. You are the survivor of a silent storm. And if you are a parent today, you have the power to rewrite the story. Give your children what you never received. Create a home where every child feels seen, valued, and safe. This is Silence Speaks Volume 777, and I'm Miss Silence reminding you, love is not selective. Love is not conditional. Love is not earned. Love is given freely, fully, and without favoritism. Peace and love.